Hello everyone, Silent here. Welcome back to another snapshot video. Today we're looking at snapshot 18W45A, the third major snapshot for Minecraft 1.14, the village and pillage update. So not much was added in this snapshot, only three major things: edible signs, scaffolding as you see here in front of you, and then also illager and pillager raiding parties, which we'll check out later as well. So again, not all too much to look at, so let's just kind of hop into it, shall we? So the first thing that we're going to look at is edible signs. We'll get to the scaffolding and stuff in a second, but this is the smallest little feature, so we might as well cover it first. So now you can actually go back and edit signs, remove and add letters, and you can also select things by holding shift and the arrow keys. You can select, delete, copy, and paste, which is pretty awesome. One thing you cannot do is like copy from Discord or Google or whatever into signs. You can only copy from signs into signs, which is kind of unfortunate, but still a very nice little feature. Another thing that would be cool for them to add is like you can actually move your cursor around and select where you would like to edit instead of just using the arrow keys. Maybe we'll get that in a future update. And another thing that would be cool for signs is when you run out of room on a row, it automatically bump you down to the next row. That's something that's on Bedrock Edition, and I think it would just be cool to have on Java. But signs have already gotten a ton of love on Java in these few snapshots, so we'll likely see some more features coming to these in the next ones as well. And now we have scaffolding. This stuff has been requested in Minecraft for basically ever and has been in modded Minecraft forever. But to craft this stuff, you simply get yourself 6 pieces of bamboo and 1 piece of string at the top there, and you actually get 6 scaffolding for that. Not too bad, and you can find that in the crafting menu as well. So very cheap, and bamboo is extremely easy to farm as well. Now to use this stuff, you basically can just walk right up to it, hold down jump or spacebar, and just kind of go up to whatever level you like. If you're standing on a scaffolding that has another one underneath it, basically a tower of scaffolding, then holding down shift will take you downwards, similar to ladders. However, if you're standing on scaffolding that doesn't have anything underneath it, then you can try and bone meal trees up here all you like, and you will not fall down, which is pretty awesome. Now, once you're up here, placing other scaffolding is extremely easy. You can just kind of bridge out from here, just like normal scaffolding, normal dirt. However, you do have to watch out because these things actually have a limit to how far they can go out from these supporting towers. So if we look at the F3 screen, you can actually see distance on the right side, and the maximum distance is 4 before these things start to fall down. But that's fine because once you're up here, you can just place down another tower, and then from here, just keep on pillaring out. So you'll actually get some like legit looking scaffolding structures that actually have supports. So pretty cool stuff. So another thing about these scaffolding blocks is that they're not typical gravity blocks how you would expect them. So if we remove this bottom block, all of these are just going to break instead of actually falling down to the ground, which is fantastic and exactly what you want in scaffolding. That makes picking all of these up and makes cleaning everything up extremely simple and easy. And another way that you can place these things is just by looking at the middle there. And as you can see, we're just creating a super tall tower, and there's actually no limit to how tall these things can be. The only limit is to how far out to the sides they can go. So there will be a 4-block gap in between towers, like I already explained. And over here, I made a sky tower just to prove my point. For some reason, there's some darkness up there, but that is why we are playing in Snapshot. So if we go ahead and break that, you'll see slowly but surely it makes its way all the way to sky limit, and it just starts raining scaffolding, which is pretty fantastic. Scaffolding is a pretty slow mine by hand, but it can be done, and it's a near instant mine with an efficiency 5 axe, so there you go. If you want to instant mine your scaffolding, just use your axe. I also set up a few various small tests, so these falling scaffolding do break on slabs like you would expect them to. Did we just get 2 from that? We did. I'm not sure what's up with that. Anyway, they can also not be pushed because they just break. They can't be pulled, and they can't be pushed vertically. And yes, they do get properly launched from slime, and they don't stick to slime either. And if you pull the block out from underneath them, then they just break as is expected as well. Now, you can actually detect these changes using an observer. So we have the main support tower right here, and then off to the side, we just have the little offshoots. When we place one right here, these little bars right here are actually going to get removed, and that'll update this entire thing to be a tower, and then you can kind of just detect that using observers. A little bit laggy in this snapshot, but that's exactly what snapshots are for. These things are also flammable. I haven't seen these catch fire. As you can see, all this stuff just despawned. It's been there for 5 minutes, but yeah, these things haven't caught fire for me yet. They're very slow. Maybe that's a snapshot bug, but they do indeed catch fire. And for some reason, you can also waterlog these. Doesn't make sense because you don't need scaffolding underwater, but it also makes sense because they are not a full block. One last thing I did with the scaffolding is drop it from a world height and see if it breaks, such as anvils, but it is just like a normal falling block in this manner. It'll just stack up nice and neatly, and then from here you can just start building scaffolding again. Pretty awesome stuff. So one thing that was discovered is that the blast furnace, the smoker, and the barrel all actually have an inventory. You just can't actually open it because there's no UI, but there is an inventory. So this is what the blast furnace looks like when it's smelting, and then the smoker also has an inventory as well. Just need to put something in there, and that is such a cool like animation on the front of that. And I am smelting kelp in these, so it doesn't appear that their actual functionality for smelting in particular blocks is added yet. And the barrel actually has an inventory similar to that of a chest. I put an entire chest of items in there. There's none backed up in the hopper here. There's none in this hopper. And yeah, there's just no UI for this as well. So it does have an inventory, which is very intriguing to say the least. And next we have the Pillager and Illager raiding parties. So these things will spawn at various distances from villages in any of these 4 biomes: plains, taigas, deserts, and savannas. And those are the same 4 biomes that villages can spawn in, of course. And they do spawn at various distances. I've seen them, you know, this close to a village or up to 700-800 blocks away from a village. Now, this might be a snapshot bug, but the ones that spawn further away tend to have fewer members, or maybe just the main party guy. No beast, no support, or anything like that. Now, these guys are honestly pretty fantastic. As you can see, the main leader can either be a Vindicator or a regular Illager with the crossbow, of course. And when you kill the main leader, you will get a special banner. This banner right here, the Illager banner. It's just a standard banner that you could create on your own. However, it has a special orange name, so technically it's a rare or collectible item. These raiding parties can also spawn during the day, which is kind of interesting. So not only will you find these around the world, various distances from villages, you also find them during the day, and I believe they also attack you in survival. And I think, yeah, these guys really don't like me. So you are definitely going to be having a little bit of a challenge when you run into these guys in your world. So I've only been flying around for about 15 or so minutes, and this is actually my 7th party, and there's even another one spawning over there, so they are very, very frequent. And I believe this one actually has 6 members, right? 7 members, so this is 2 parties in one, actually. So maybe their spawns should be nerfed a little bit, just maybe a little bit. And in case it wasn't made clear, the Pillagers and Illagers are specifically added to terrorize villagers, ruin crops, and just overall destroy villages. And yeah, these guys are going to be quite the formidable foe when it comes to defending a village. As soon as you get to a village in 1.14, you need to secure it. Otherwise, these guys are kind of wreck house. They're quite the threat to the player and also to the villagers. They are not messing around with those crossbows. And because this is a snapshot, there's also a whole mountain of technical changes, optimization, and changes to commands as well. If you're interested in learning anything about all of that, then the full article will be linked in the description down below. Unfortunately, I'm not quite a smart enough person to know what any of this actually means. Maybe someday, But there's also a ton of bug fixes as well, such as dying causes you to respawn in an empty, unplayable world until you relog. Yeah, you know, that's a pretty good bug to fix, isn't it? But and that just about does it for everything in Snapshot 18W45A. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe you learned a thing or two about these new additions to the game. 1.14 is shaping up to be an amazing update to the game. There might be another snapshot out this week, or we might have to wait until next week, so you guys can look out for another video on that snapshot as well. And thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, then maybe leave a like on the video. It does help out the channel and support the video as well, so thank you very much for doing that. And if you guys are new here, maybe consider subscribing as well so you don't miss the next snapshot videos that I upload. Anyway, I'll see you guys down in the comment section and in the next video. And then there was silence.